dugsiga boardingka iyo maalinlaha ah ee Amano Boarding and Day School.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're safe and doing well at home. As you can see on the board, we have a timetable. The timetable, it shows the exam schedule. That will start on 9 May 2020. We shall start with English on Saturday. That's 5th of May. English. We have on Sunday social studies. Monday we have maths. Tuesday we have science. Wednesday Arabic. The second week from 16th to on 20th of May, we shall have Islamic as the last exam paper. So I'd like you to follow this timetable and know that from on 13th, from 9 to 13, it will be exam week. Revise well with your parents. Ask your brothers and sisters to help you in revision. This exam, you'll be doing it alone. It means we expect you to answer all the questions. Don't leave any empty gaps, because any empty gap is counted as a wrong. It's counted that you don't know what you're doing. We hope that you are going to do well, because this is third term. We have covered a lot. The exam will cover all you have learned. If you are in grade 6, you'll expect questions right from grade 4. If you are grade 5, we expect questions from even grade 3 or grade 2, all that. So it's an all-round exam. It's not just a topic exam, but all-round exam that you should revise all your notes on what you have covered with your teacher. So that's all about the exam schedule. That will start on 9th and end on 16th of May. Keep time and ensure you follow the timetable. Don't forget about exams. After explaining about this exam timetable, let's go to today's work. And in today's work, the topic is about the common accidents that we undergo when we are at home or at school. And these common accidents, they occur in various places. You find students playing, one falls, breaks the hand, students push each other, students fall from the stairs when they're walking. So those accidents, we expect them at home or in the school. So let's observe these pictures and see whether we have experienced that. Alright, the first picture, you can see there's a girl there, broken glass. You see she's bleeding. There is a boy there who was riding a bicycle, and that bicycle fell. There's a boy there who was pushed, and the skin, it's rough, and the boy started bleeding. These are some of the forms of accidents we find at home and even at school. We have here a boy who was climbing on a tree and he fell from that tree. There's another one, a girl who is walking by the help of the crutches, and you can see there's a plaster on her leg, which means that leg was broken and she cannot walk using one leg. She has to use the crutches to walk. So from these pictures, these are some of the accidents that happen around us. In one way or another, you have been seeing your friends either walking with their crutches. You've been seeing your friends who are bleeding, or your friends who cannot walk well because their hand or their leg was broken. Okay, let's start with the first type of an accident. The first type of an accident is accidental falls. What's the meaning of accidental falls? Accidental falls, it means when somebody falls from a higher ground. That is, we have the first picture. There is a ladder and there is a boy. In this ladder, the boy was trying to climb the ladder. Then he fell down with the ladder. The next one, there is a girl there. Some banana peels, they are down there. And the girl was walking. She slipped over a banana peel. Another accidental fall, it is slipping on the floor. That is, if the floor is smooth, maybe somebody poured soap on the floor and you walk on that floor, you will fall. That is another example of an accidental fall. So we have three types of accidental falls: falling from a ladder, slipping over a banana peel, and slipping on the floor. The second type of common accident is accidental cuts. From this picture, we can see a girl whose foot is bleeding. The second picture, we can see a boy whose finger is bleeding. Maybe this girl, when she was walking, she stepped on a sharp object. That object, it cut her foot, and the foot started bleeding. That is a cut on the foot. It can lead to what we call the accidental cut. This second picture, there is a boy and a bleeding finger. But down there we can see the boy was trying to cut something using a knife. And that knife accidentally, it cut his finger. So an example of accidental cut, we have the cut on the foot, the one we can see there, and we have a cut on the finger. That is using a sharp object, and when you try to cut something, you forget and cut your finger. That is an accidental cut. Another type of common accident is called accidental grazes. That means we have a boy there or somebody sneeze. They are rough and they have some blood stains. These blood stains shows that this person or this child fell. Maybe they were playing and this knees scraped on the floor, and the floor was rough, or the field was rough, and it scratched the knees. After scratching the knees, blood started coming out of these knees. So that's what we call the skin graze, accidental grazes. The next one is accidental fractures. What's the meaning of a fracture? A fracture is a broken bone. When a bone breaks, we call it a fracture. The first picture, there is a girl who is walking using the crutches, The second picture is a boy who is holding a broken hand using a sling. But what is a sling? A sling is this piece of material, a small piece of material that holds a broken hand. For example, if I use this, my hand is broken, I use this, I place it, and I hold my hand. Then this is what you call a sling. So this boy's hand is broken. He's using a sling to hold this hand. If you don't hold the hand using a sling and the hand is broken, you'll feel more pain. So we should use a sling to hold our hand when the hand is broken. What about this first one? The girl is using the crutches. One leg has a plaster. That plaster, the one you can see, the color white. So it means this girl cannot walk using one leg. So she'll use what we call the crutches to help her walk. That's why she can walk comfortably, because she's using the crutches. These are the crutches, the metal ones that she's trying to use, and she can walk comfortably. So those are the two examples of accidental fractures. And make sure that you remember the meaning of a fracture. As I told you, a fracture means a bone that is broken. When your bone breaks, we call it a fracture. If you have a fracture on your hand, after treatment, you need to use a sling to hold your broken hand. As we can see, this boy is very comfortable with a sling. So examples of fractures, we have already talked about it. Now, what about this exercise that we have here? Name any 3 types of accidents. We have looked at 4 main types of accidents. But according to my exercise, we are going to name only 3. We have discussed 4 of them, but you're going to name only 3 types of accidents. Name the accidental cuts, fractures. Also, observe those pictures that I showed you in the previous slide. That will guide you to name the types of accidents that we experience at home and in the school. So this one is your exercise that you are going to try to do at home before next lesson. Thank you so much for today's lesson. Prepare yourself for the exams that I told you. We hope that you're going to pass this exam and get higher marks. Thank you so much, and meet you next lesson.